And how is it going, Elder Scrolls Nation? It is Scalzi here with a very special video made especially for you, because if it wasn't for you, the community, there would be no Scalzi, there would be no channel, and there'd be a lot less hype for both Bethesda games, gaming in general, and for me to exist. I'm just kidding. But anyway, like I've been saying for a while, and like I said in a video yesterday, I'm gonna do an Ask Me Anything video so you guys can ask me questions and you can get to know me a little bit more beyond what I know about Bethesda and stuff like that. And that video is today. And speaking of the community, I recently upgraded and updated my Patreon. I did a major overhaul to my Patreon page and how it'll work. If you pledge anything on Patreon, you will have unique access to a daily post that I'll be putting up on Patreon called The Daily Dose of Stuff and Things. In this post, I'll give you some behind the scenes action when it comes to the channel, my future videos, maybe some stuff I'm working on, things like that. You get privileged access information that no one else can have. It's like you're a spy, kind of, but not really. Now, sorry if you've been on my Patreon before, but I didn't really want to push Patreon too hard because I didn't want people to think that I was just trying to ask for money really hard. But I kind of messed up there because I didn't see Patreon for what I could use it for, which is another way for you guys and myself to work together in terms of providing content and protecting the channel from bullshit video takedowns and stuff like that, because a lot of that stuff happens, unfortunately. And I don't make like that much money at all off YouTube, so I can't really, you know, start hiring in a team of Dark Brotherhood assassin lawyers to protect me or anything. But anyway, like I said, I'll be doing a daily post over on Patreon known as The Daily Dose of Stuff and Things, where you get behind the scene access stuff about future channel stuff, maybe some stuff about just my personal life, whatever. Go ahead and check it out if you want. But now let's get to the questions. I had a lot of questions to choose from for my Ask Me Anything video, but I chose 20 of my favorite ones. But if yours didn't get chosen, don't worry, because I will definitely do stuff like this again in the future. This is going to be one of the first of many ways that I'm going to be expanding the content variety on my channel and interact with you guys, the community. So let's get to the questions. I'm going to keep saying that. So let's get to the questions. Okay, let's do it. This one is by William Menino. If you could make either Blades or The Elder Scrolls 6 come out first, which one would you pick? Well, as long as The Elder Scrolls 6 wouldn't get dumbed down or rushed in order for it to come out first, I would definitely say The Elder Scrolls 6. But if it would result in some kind of like damnation or permanent loss of quality, or The Elder Scrolls 6 getting kicked in the balls, then I definitely wouldn't choose it to be the one to come out first. But you get what I'm saying. I definitely would rather have The Elder Scrolls 6 than Blades. Well, Blades looks interesting. It's not The Elder Scrolls 6 at all. The next question is by Boss of Death, Boss of Doff, of Doffy Boss Both Doff. What do you think of mods? I love mods. I am actually streaming with Skyrim with over 200 mods over on my Twitch channel. You should check that out. I'll be streaming this Friday, which is tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I love mods. That's another reason why I love Bethesda games, is because they seem to have a really unique scene when it comes to mods. I dare say that Bethesda Game Studios games have the best modding community and support out of almost any game out there. I could be wrong, but this is definitely from my first-hand experience, and I've modded a lot of games. Matthew Nelson says, how did you come up with the name Scalzi? Now, this is an interesting story. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it'll bore you until you die. I don't know, but anyway. So I had a YouTube channel before known as Razor, R-A-I-Z-E-R, and I covered Mass Effect 4 news. I say Mass Effect 4 and not Mass Effect Andromeda because I covered Mass Effect Andromeda news a year before it was even known as Mass Effect Andromeda. I had a small following. I think I got up to 5,000 subs or so, but I ended up having like some big life-changing circumstances around there. Some good stuff, some bad stuff, but I had to step away from YouTube for a while. And then when I wanted to come back, I kind of wanted to change my name because Razor, R-A-I-Z-E-R, is almost identical to the mouse company for gaming PCs. So I was like, that's gonna cause some issues at some point in the future if I'd want to go on with this. So I had to come up with a different name, and that was hard. I couldn't come up with anything, and I wanted something that sounded catchy, friendly, but unique, and somehow Skullzi popped into my head. I don't know why or how, but it did, and it just sounded right. So here we are today, Skullzi, and then Skullzi TV, because a lot of YouTubers put TV at the end, and here I am, walking in the line with the rest of the piggies in a row doing the same thing. But no, Skullzi TV, that's how it came to be. I like the name. It's gonna be my name probably forever. In fact, when I get 100,000 subscribers, if that happens, which I'm sure it will, because I'm not gonna stop doing this anytime soon, I'm gonna get a Skullzi related tattoo of some kind, and you know I'll definitely be streaming and recording that shit. Alright, next question. Danny Ray Jr., what's up, man? You comment a lot on my videos. Sometimes they're weird comments, but anyway, tune in next time to what? For all things holy, you cannot leave us hanging. Are you gonna announce what brand of toaster they have at Bethesda, or perhaps you will take some Tez drugs and go hide in the dark room? I don't know, you always have funny, tune in next time, so please don't stop it or else I'll cry. Don't worry, man. I'll still be doing that. Be sure to tune in next time when Todd Howard takes a shit and throws it at your mom or whatever at the end of the videos. I'll keep doing those jokes. I just thought that it would be funny to not do it for once and comment on how I'm not doing it. Don't worry, I'm gonna keep having like these kind of channel trends that will evolve as the future happens. But your question is, what is the game you have spent the most time with? Oh man, that's a crazy hard question. I've been gaming since I probably could walk and pick up a controller, man, so this is a really hard question. I played a lot of Mario games when I was young, played a ton of Civilization games, played a lot of Elder Scrolls, man, it's so hard. I played a lot of Mass Effect, Dragon Age. I've played a lot of games. I've played a ton of GTA and Red Dead. I'd have to say it's a toss-up between these 3 games. Elder Scrolls series, probably Oblivion. Played Oblivion more than Skyrim, and I have a ton of hours in Skyrim, if that tells you anything. GTA, any one of the GTA games I've played a ton, so I can't really choose between those. And Mass Effect, because Mass Effect is always one of my beloved franchises, despite what Mass Effect Andromeda has done to it. But yeah, that's a hard question, man. Sorry I can't narrow it down to one game, but there you go. That's the best I can do, Danny Ray Jr. Next question by Josh Boggs. Hey, you've been watching my videos for a while. I remember you. You say, hey, you almost got 10,000 subs, my dude. Congrats. Anyways, how's the YouTube game going? Like, I mean, are you enjoying it and whatnot? Love the vids, man. I'm a OG. Yeah, I know you are. Like I just said, that's awesome, man. Thank you for being around for a while. And yeah, I'm almost at 10,000 subs. I'm getting like 100 a day. This is so crazy. It seems almost unreal, and every day I wake up, I'm expecting it to just like stop and go back to the 5 to 10 subs a day, but somehow it keeps on going, even on Mondays. What the hell? I can't believe it, but I'm so thankful for this, and it's motivating me even more. And you know what, even if it does slow down at some point, I'm gonna keep on pushing, because we can't always be in the winner's circle, but if you keep on fighting, you can definitely find yourself in that circle more than not. And I am so motivated to bring you guys the news, and more so than anything, build an awesome gaming community that I want to last until the end of time. So yes, I am enjoying it very, very much, especially with all the positive feedback I'm getting from you guys. You guys motivate me so much, and I'm not planning on stopping doing this probably ever, really. I don't think I'll ever stop doing this. I mean, I'm sure there'll eventually be something, right? I gotta be realistic. Maybe YouTube will shut down, but I love this. I'm gonna keep doing it, and my goal right now is to do a video every day at least for the next year, and I'm on day like 32 or something, and we're gonna keep on going. Anyway, next question. Thanks, Josh Boggs. You're amazing, man. Our next question is by CJ, my buddy over from sugarbombed.com, your one-stop Bethesda go-to needs for chat, forums, and a community. Be sure to check out Sugarbombed. I'm an admin over there. It's a great community founded by Mr. Matty Plays way back in the day. Be sure to check it out, make an account, and post some stuff. Anyway, he says, what's your favorite non-Bethesda franchise or studio? Another hard question, man. I want to say Rockstar games because I appreciate immersion. I appreciate a world that feels like it's a unique place with unique people, an actual place that feels like you're there, a place that feels like it exists when you're not there, and Rockstar does a great job at that. But I do have a little bit of hate against Rockstar because they've taken down a couple of my videos for stupid bullshit reasons in the past, videos that put a lot of work in, man. And they've also like bullied the community in terms of modding, which I think is bullshit, but I do love Rockstar. I also love BioWare, or at least I used to. I really can't say they're one of my top 3 anymore because they've gone through some major changes lately. And then my next favorite probably is EA Games. Ha! Got him! Fuck EA, I don't like EA. They killed Command & Conquer. I grew up with Command & Conquer, man. What did you do, EA, you bastards! Anyway, back to your question, non-favorite Bethesda franchise or studio. Most likely Rockstar games, if I had to say. Rockstar is pretty damn awesome. Next question. Oh, and I would say CD Projekt Red, but I haven't played too much of the Witcher series, but I do know that it's pretty awesome, and I will play the shit out of Cyberpunk 2077. But anyway, next question. Prete Saxena says, what are your views on future of Bethesda games? That's a really interesting question, actually, and it's something that I've talked about with King Fanman and Joey Caps over in the Gaming Inside podcast a few times. I actually think that we're in the golden age of Bethesda game studios right now. They have a lot of stuff going on for them. They have multiple studios that help them make even larger masterpieces, despite what people are saying about Fallout 76. That's like a side project. That's like #1 side project out of their side projects, but it's still not what they're going to consider their mainline single-player games. They've even said that themselves. So I think we're in a golden age for Bethesda game studios, and this is going to last probably at least for 5 to 10 years. But the thing is, and this is what worries me, eventually the developers that are are in Bethesda right now, including Todd Howard himself, are gonna retire and stop making these games. How much will that affect Bethesda Game Studios in the future is yet to be seen, but it does worry me. But you know what? Don't worry about that. We've got like at least 2 more Elder Scrolls games before Todd Howard has to retire, because that would be like, what, 30 years? I'm just kidding. You get what I'm saying. Anyway, next question. Cobra Khan says, do you want to do YouTube full-time, or what is your ultimate goal as far as being a content creator? Is it a hobby? What are you doing over here with your YouTubes? Awesome question, man, and I think I kind of touched on that earlier. I would love to do YouTube full-time, but I don't make too much money from it. Some of my stuff gets demonetized, and it seems like the YouTube algorithm tries to hold my videos back because they get a lot of views and then they just cut out. But that's, you know, that's fine. That's just how it goes. But I would love to do YouTube full-time, and that's one of the reasons why I'm pushing to do a video every day. In fact, I have to work as a chef during the day, so I wake up at like 6 in the morning, I work until 2 or 3, I come home, sometimes I chill out for 30 minutes to an hour, but most of the time I work on YouTube until usually I go to sleep. If I'm lucky, I get an hour a day to maybe watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood with my fiance, or maybe play a game for an hour and then go to sleep and do this again the next day. I have some more time on the weekends, but I gotta hang out with the family because I can't neglect them as well, and I want to see them too. But I do push myself to do a video every day, which takes like anywhere from 3 to even sometimes as much as 8 hours depending on the video and the research I have to do. So eventually, if I can make enough money off YouTube, I will consider not doing a normal 9-to-5 job, not being a chef anymore, and being YouTube full-time. But that may not happen, and that if it does, it's gonna be a few years from now. Unless I'm lucky and my views just keep on going like crazy, in which case, holy crap, that would be a dream come true. Because that's what I want to do. I want to be part of the gaming industry. I want to work in the gaming industry, and I want to build a community in the gaming industry and be known as someone you can go to for information and stuff like that. Thanks for the question, Cobra Khan. You're awesome. Let's move on. Vicon Targaryen says, am I single or married? You're asking for a friend. Sure you are. No, I'm actually engaged to an amazing person. She's beautiful and is probably one of the most important things in my life. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have pushed myself to become the person I am now. So I do appreciate the question, but no, Skullzi's taken, everybody. Sorry about that. Block Grills says, is it possible for you to use your skills to dig up into Square Enix, Deck 9, and Don't Nod to see if there will be another Life is Strange game with Max and Chloe? Yeah, I probably could dig into them. I could dig into anybody. I've dug into Sony and found patents about the PS5 CPU and stuff like that. So I might eventually do that. I have been contemplating expanding my content a little bit more beyond Bethesda. I still am going to focus on Bethesda Game Studios games, but I'm not sure if how many other games I will cover. I do want to cover gaming in general. Of course, it'll be limited to my interests as well, but I don't want the community to be turned away, and I am probably going to be focused on Bethesda Game Studios games for the most part anyway, even a while from now. Just depends on how stuff goes. But as far as Life is Strange, the game looks really interesting to me, but I've never played it. My sister loves that game. Huge shout out to my sister Madison. She's the best sister I could have ever wished for. She's killing it in life right now, man. She's already got like research stuff going on, and she just started in college. I love her to death, and she is amazing and motivates me just as much as you guys do, if not even more. But anyway, yeah, I've never played Life is Strange. I'll definitely probably check it out at some point, but I can dig into other companies, and I might here soon. It just depends on how the content goes and stuff like that. Next question. David Weinholt, you're awesome. You have been watching my stuff for a while too, always giving the love and the support. You're amazing, man. And he says, besides running the Elder Scrolls Nation and digging up Bethesda's secrets, what do you do as your job? I've been making Coffins' third shift for Matthews Aurora for a few years now. As always, kick-ass work. Thank you for all you do. Dude, you make coffins? Holy shit. Don't you have to be like a master craftsman to do that? Those things are expensive. That sounds like a pretty cool job, but to answer your question, I kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. I am a private chef for a fraternity at Purdue University. Because of my contract, I can't publicly say the name of the fraternity, but yeah, they're a bunch of awesome guys. A lot of them know about the channel and watch it, and are gamers themselves. And when you think of a fraternity, you think like drunken people with beer bottles all over. These guys actually can't even drink alcohol in the house. They're really high-end, really awesome, and super motivated people. So yeah, that's what I do. It's an actual, probably one of the best jobs I've ever had, if not the best. Right next to YouTube, of course. I'm talking about like 9-to-5 jobs. I consider YouTube not a job, it's like my passion in my career. I do love cooking and stuff, but YouTube, man, gaming and all that stuff, if I can have something in that industry, I would be happy forever. Anyway, yeah, I hope that answers your question, man. That's pretty awesome. Third shift making coffins. David Weinholt. One day you're gonna be buried in something he made, bitch. Let's go on. Refrigerated memes. Hey man, you've been refrigerating memes for a while on my videos too. Nice to see a lot of common faces in the comments I picked. Wonder how that worked. He says, how old were you when you first played an Elder Scrolls game? Ooh, I gotta think about this one. I'd have to say I think I was 11. I believe I was a freshman in high school, and I was going over to my buddy Brian's house, and him and Ryan were playing Morrowind, and this is the first time I think I've even heard of the Elder Scrolls, and it looked amazing. I didn't own an Xbox or anything at the time, but I did play Morrowind with them every time I went over, which was almost every day after school, and then maybe like a few years later, or whenever it was that Oblivion came out, because I'm 30 now, so Morrowind came, this was when I was 11, I think Oblivion came out, man, I don't even remember, 4 or 5, I don't even know. Oblivion came out like 2000 something, 2006, I don't know, it came out at some point in time, but whenever Oblivion came out, I got the Xbox 360, and that was a game I bought with the 360 when it all launched, and I fell in love even more with Elder Scrolls. In fact, we had a vacation the next day to go back to Chicago, where I'm from, and just go shopping and eating and stuff, because, you know, normal things you do in Chicago, and I stayed up all night playing fucking Oblivion. I finally had to log out at the tree in, I think it was Leowin, to go on the vacation, totally sleep deprived. I had to drink a bunch of coffee, but it was worth it. So yeah, I played my first Elder Scrolls game when I was 11, and I fell in love with Elder Scrolls a few years later. There you go, refrigerated memes. Red Planet. If Train A leaves New York at 6 a.m. and Train B leaves Paris 20 minutes later, how awesome will Starfield be? Yes. Seth Woods. Okay, if the Matrix was real, would you take the blue pill and end up in Elder Scrolls, or would you take the red pill and end up in Fallout World, or would you take the purple pill and shove it up your ass? This question's kinda obvious. First of all, we're talking about a world that has trouble with water that won't make you shit out your intestines. Food is hard to come by. On top of that, water is hard to come by, and then on top of that, it's dangerous. There's tons of things that want to kill you, tons of people that want to kill you. Obviously, I'm talking about Fallout here. As opposed to Elder Scrolls, where yes, there's a ton of people and things that want to kill you, but it's a bit more civilized. There's food all over if you can live a normal life, and water all over, and no radiation, at least not that I know of, and there's magic! So should I have land where I shit out my intestines, or land of magic? I'm gonna go with Elder Scrolls, Land of Magic. Easy choice, Seth Woods. Next question, Rob N. Is this a waste of a question? No, man. That's a great question. Stefan Felipe. Yo, Scalzi, I have a question for you, Mr. Lore Guru. In Skyrim, we were Dragonborn, and had the power to speak the dragon tongue. This added an interesting game mechanic, shouts. What do you think we will see in ES6? And what kind of mechanic do you think it will bring to the game? This is something else I've kind of talked about in Gaming Insight, the podcast, and something I've thought about at great lengths. But it depends on exactly how different Elder Scrolls 6 is on the next generation of gaming consoles with Bethesda's next-gen engine. I think that the gameplay may feel a lot different. It'll still be a Bethesda Game Studios game, and you'll still know it's Elder Scrolls, but I think it'll be a lot more fluid. The combat might be a little bit more fast-paced because of the fluidity. I think just because the game feels more fluid and natural, that itself will kind of stand on its own as its identity to the Elder Scrolls 6. Now, as if they're gonna add like any deeper gameplay elements like shouts, that depends on the story and stuff like that. Maybe they'll add some other form of ultimate, because shouts seem to be like an ultimate spell or ability, or like an ultimate form of magic that was on a cooldown, harder to get the spells. Maybe they'll just have something else like an ultimate magic system in the Elder Scrolls 6. Who knows? Only time will tell. But an awesome question, man. Thank you again. Radioactive Wolf. Why am I so underrated? Am I though? I mean, I get a lot of love from you guys, and that's awesome, but at the same time, there's like a couple hate Skullzi threads on Reddit right now, in the Bethesda Softworks one, and I think like the Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 one, where a lot of people are just fucking hating all over me, man. So maybe I would say, you know, if I said I was underrated, that would seem kind of pompous. I do think my content's okay. I think it's pretty decent, but as to why I'm not growing faster, it could just be I'm not that big, so my content isn't as exposed as the larger channels. Their content gets pushed faster because they get more views in a less amount of time. Because my channel's smaller, I don't get as many views naturally, but as I grow, that'll change, so don't worry. Like I said, I'm definitely gonna get up there with the 100 to 500,000 subscriber channels, and I won't be underrated then. At least I hope not. Next question. Bad Guy 2050. When Elder Scrolls 6 releases, will you do a review for the game? Definitely. Actually, I'm gonna do a lot of content for the game. I plan on having a video encyclopedia where I have a video for every weapon in the game, where you can find it, the stats, every item in the game, all the quests, every character, stuff like that. I'm gonna have a full breakdown of the Elder Scrolls 6 and everything there is in the game, pretty much like a wiki for the game in video form on my channel. I have a lot of plans for both Starfield and the Elder Scrolls 6 when it comes out, so make sure you don't go anywhere whenever that game comes out, that is. Abdullosaurus, how happy am I? I'm actually pretty happy. Life is decent right now. I have some negative shit going on with like haters on the channel about some of my recent videos, but that's always gonna be there, and if I focused my time on the haters, I would be doing nothing but that. So I just gotta ignore them. But as for that, everything's going pretty good, man. I wish the YouTube algorithm would share my videos more, but apart from that, things are awesome. And the last question by Scabbage, another longtime viewer of the channel. What do you think? Will Starfield truly feel next-gen, and how much will Bethesda improve their engine for it? I don't know how next-gen Starfield will feel. I think that the physics, the game engine, and the graphics might be a little bit more next-gen, but I think that they're trying to make it be on both this generation of consoles and next generation of consoles. Now, when we're talking Elder Scrolls 6, I think that's truly gonna feel like a big upgrade for the next generation of Bethesda Game Studios games. I do think that Starfield will feel, for the most part, as a next-gen game. Now, anyway, thanks for all of the questions, everyone. You are amazing. Thank you so much for all of the support, and like I said, this is gonna be one of many of new ways of me trying to interact with you guys and provide new content on the channel. Now, I want to give a shout out to my patrons, Kai and Stefan Golovin. Thank you very, very much for all of your support in helping build future content and standing as a warrior amongst Elder Scrolls Nation by defending the channel and going beyond the Call of Duty when it comes to standing for the community. Now, everyone, that's all I have for you today. Like I said, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you want to be part of the amazing community and see the amazing adventure that lies in front of us for both the channel and Bethesda's Golden Age and Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield and Todd Howard and Todd Howard and Todd Howard. Be sure to follow me on Twitter for the latest channel updates and random shit about me. Check me out on Twitch, where I'm going to be streaming every week on a set schedule. Right now, I'm streaming Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time every week. I'll add more days in there as my schedule changes or whatever, as I figure out when I have that kind of time. And if you want to have your hand in also providing future content and standing as a warrior, along with Stefan Golovin and Kai, then consider subscribing to the community on Patreon, where you can earn unique and awesome awards and get access to daily behind-the-scenes content. And as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when Todd Howard punts a fucking toaster into a portal and a new Bethesda Game Studios game appears.
Bye, have a great time.